You need realistic goals. So I'll be turning 50 in a year and a half's time, so I'm really looking at trying to break the Canadian records at 50. So I think with realistic goals it's much easier to do, and the fact is that I have a good training group that I run with, and we have a good camaraderie, and it's just slightly easier to look forward rather than looking back. You never want to look back at what you've done, you kind of want to look forward to what you do. You just have to adjust your goals. Well, I think you have to look after your body, and then I was lucky enough to get on with SierraSil maybe 4 years ago and taking their product, especially the Formula 14, which has been really good. And it really speeds up the recovery, so I can train just as hard as I did before, but it's actually you have to train smarter, and then the recovery is more important than the actual training. So taking the products, and I like the topical spray as well, it really helps you. And you know that with them products and looking after yourself, it's going to be much easier to recover. And I've been very fortunate that I've had no major injuries at all. Training through the winter months, I think it's very important to find a group. If you can't find a group, then just try and find a training partner, so you know that when it's cold, wet, miserable, rain, snow, that someone's going to be there and you're accountable. And then especially good clothing, nice dry warm clothing, keep you warm. And then you have some sort of smaller goals. So we're all training through the winter for a major spring marathon. So if you find a smaller few races, like in January, February, it helps you keep it motivated and gets you through them horrible days. I need to do hard workouts with a group. Just know my teammates are going to be there for really hard workouts. And then I think for steady running, you can do it by yourself, especially if you're limited to time. Like I can't always be where my teammates are going to be on a Wednesday when we're doing a steady run. So I think it balances itself out. Some people prefer to train with a group, some people train by yourself. But for me, and I think for most people, there's a bit of both, and it really helps. So I found the benefits of training with a group is that not only do you have great training partners and we're all accountable for each other, but that we've all become very good friends. And someone like my coach, he's become my lifelong friend. And in my own group that we train with, Super K Run, we started off with 4 people that were trying to qualify for Boston. And now we've got up to between 30 and 40 athletes that come and go, and we stayed friends ever since, and we've had a few Christmas parties and we hung out on New Year. So to me, the friendship is just as important as the training. So some of the benchmarks for success for my own athletes is that I will give them realistic goals. I don't like to sugarcoat anything, I'm quite realistic, because otherwise they just become disappointed, and I don't think that's really a good thing to do as a coach. So we'll assess their fitness, we'll know what they're capable of, and then we'll set a target and hopefully they'll achieve it. And when they do, it's better for everybody, we're so much more happier. Coaching has impacted my own training because I think I've seen a lot more from what I've gained from my own coaches and how much more respect I actually have for them. So a lot of time it's voluntary time, a lot of their own free time. And for my own athletes, if I'm not really working out really hard that day, I'll actually run with them. So it's, for me, the hardest thing is whether or not I actually want to run with them, because they're already doing my own training. So if I have an easy run one morning, I might be able to do it with them. And then that way I can actually run with them, give them a few tips, rather than just being on the sidelines. But if it's on a track day, then I'd rather be in the middle, shouting out times and advice from the middle. If it's slightly longer, then I'll run with them. So I've been able to avoid any serious injuries for many years now. A lot this is down to the way I look after myself, my body. I do very good with nutrition, I train very well, I train very smart. I have chiropractor, I have physio, I have massage, I have cold water baths, which aren't that much fun but kind of necessary after a hard workout. And I also take a product from SierraSil called Formula 14 and a tropical spray, which really helps me for recovery days.